From Peoria, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Davida Jackson and Anna Crilly. Regional news with Elise Escaronli and Ashley Cassie, and the Midstate News Team. The Sporting Life with Adam Sokolowski and Katie Lee. Anthony Majori is State of the Arts. And Nebraska's favorite son, Daniel McAllister, is surfacing the underground, while Rebecca Fetter leads our street team. Our movie reviewers are Jonna Bond and Josh Fletcher with Dallas the Dog. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine, with your hosts, Davida Jackson and Anna Crilly. Fade in, camera two.
Welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Davida Jackson.
And I'm Anna Crilly.
Hey, you know what time of year it is, right?
Yes, it's spring, when the loveliest of trees, the cherry now, is hung with bloom along the bough and stands along the woodland ride with... What?
Nope, it's cheater.
You're like talking to me.
Nope, it's cheater season.
Oh.
Short skirts, ripped chest is just like you want food. It's either a burrito or a taco. So all this kind of ties in with the next segment about finding spice love at a Mexican restaurant, Caliente.
Sorry.
What's happening?
With another Valentine's Day past, Cupid's arrows seemed to have missed, leaving me single for yet another year. I was left wondering what was going on in my romance department. Sure, I have lived in the fast lane called love and dated my fair share of guys in the past. However, there always seemed to be mistakes. I had to sit back and think to myself, where did I go wrong? I decided to take a stand and go out on my own manhunt, right here in Peoria, Illinois. Instead of looking for the typical beefcake, I went to where the brainy cakes dwelled, Bradley University's Cullum Davis Library, home of the real athletes. I decided to look up dating strategies through a variety of books. As luck should have it, someone seemed to be looking at me rather than any other book in the library. However, how was I to know that he was looking at me? There was a foxy librarian with bifocals working. As I continued my search, something happened. The guy came back. Our eyes met, my heart began to flutter, and suddenly the world didn't seem so lonely anymore. I must have grabbed one of the wrong books, for inside was that guy's number. Only now I know him as Chip. One would think that the library worked out for me, only it didn't. Turns out that Chip meant the phone number to be for that foxy librarian. So I decided to transport my journey elsewhere. I needed to find someone with an appetite for love as big as mine. And what a better place than a restaurant that has burritos as big as your head. I headed to La Bamba in Campus Town. I heard that Bamba's was a place renowned for its hookup potential. Took a look around, smelt the refried beans in the air, and knew I was in the right place. I spotted a patron who gave me some insight as to his thoughts on this restaurant.
Look at it, it's gorgeous in here, and it's got that whole south of the border Latin theme, which is always good for love. So, you know, just come on in. Everybody here is pretty much looking, you know, so
Very true.
Just pick someone up.
I decided to test the dating water, but ended up drowning miserably. It turns out that people might just go to La Bamba to eat great authentic Mexican cuisine. Coming home again dateless, I began to realize that I did not need to date in Peoria. The mistakes in my past relationships were because I needed to like my own independent single self first.
Signing off with a revitalized self-image and single
and happy heart. Back to you, Davida and Anna.
Thank you, Lindsay. Isn't it amazing all the stuff that goes on in spring?
It really is amazing. There's lots of things that go on, like tours. You know, speaking of spring and concerts, Madonna is touring again. So I wonder if her tour will be a little bit tamer now that she's a mother.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Then there's other rock concerts. Oh, my favorite concert is coming up is a triple threat concert with Alicia Keys, Missy Elliott, and Beyonce. Bootylicious. Now we're going to find out more about these celebrities in Snooze and State of the Arts with Anthony.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. My name is Anthony Maggiore, and this is State of the Arts. I got what's new in entertainment this week. First up, the Queen of Pop, Madonna, is going back out on tour for the 6th time in her 21-year career. Nearly 1 year after the release of her latest album, American Life, the pop icon is holding auditions for dancers. The press release calls for strong and versatile dancers who, if chosen, should be willing to cut or change their hair drastically. The yet untitled tour will begin in May, and no dates have been officially announced. It seems Mel Gibson's passion is contagious. In response to viewer demand, Gibson's religious film, The Passion of the Christ, opened in 2,800 theaters, up from the 2,000 originally scheduled. The film, released on Ash Wednesday, is about the last 12 hours of Christ's life and has generated feverish amounts of controversy. Christian leaders have supported the film, while some Jewish groups have criticized it for spreading anti-Semitic propaganda. Is Ozzy's career over? The rocker is worried that the near-death ATV accident last December could prevent him from performing again, or at least that's what he told Diane Sawyer during a primetime interview last week. Well, not to worry, Oz fans. Seems the rocker was just being dramatic. While his rep wouldn't comment on Ozzy's medical condition, she said the 55-year-old singer was still scheduled to tour this summer as part of the Ozfest Trek, which kicks off in July. Seeing as how Norah Jones' debut album has sold over 8 million copies, she might feel right at home knowing that her new effort, Feels Like Home, debuted at #1 on the Billboard album charts, with just over 1.02 million copies sold. Not since Eminem, whose The Eminem Show sold over 1.3 million copies during its first week in June 2002, has an artist debuted with 7 digits. A new project from a group of Hollywood heavyweights is looking like a real hit, literally. Sylvester Stallone, DreamWorks honcho Jeffrey Katzenberg, and Survivor mastermind Mark Burnett are joining forces for a reality series dubbed The Contender. It aims to find a real-life Rocky. The Contender will follow wannabe boxers from training through a series of challenges, with the ultimate winner getting a shot at becoming a pro prize fighter. Expect some new sounds from Kelly Clarkson's next CD. The original American Idol has been working with former Evanescence guitarist Ben Moody. Moody says, quote, "Let's face it, everyone wants to rock. It's just that some people aren't allowed to do it on their first record." Moody explained that Clarkson's soulful voice lends itself to music that's a bit edgier than what's found on her debut, Thankful. Clarkson's sophomore effort is expected to hit stores by the end of the year. In theaters this weekend is Starsky and Hutch, a big-screen version of the hit 1970s TV show. The film stars funny men Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson. The duo have also starred together in Meet the Parents and The Royal Tenenbaums. And finally, it looks like it will be a quiet week in record stores, with the only big-name releases coming from Clint Black and Jessica Simpson. Simpson is re-releasing her moderately successful CD, In This Skin, as a limited edition 2-disc set that contains new recordings, including the new single, a cover of Berlin's Take My Breath Away, and a DVD with never-before-seen footage of her hit reality show, Newlyweds. Both Simpsons and Black CDs hit record stores yesterday. Well, that's all the time I got for this week. Be sure to come back next week for another intoxicating episode of State of the Arts. Anna and Davida, it's coming back to you.
Yes, so Anna.
Thank you, Anthony. I can't wait for that Contender show to come on. You know, they say that boxing is an art form, like ballet.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's why they call me Muhammad Ali. See?
Very
They have to take
nice.
ballet, like football players take ballet too, don't they? Like they
Yeah.
practice in the springtime and they're all floating and they're all big and everything. Woo! And I can't wait to go into my ballet jazzercise class. It's kind of like jazz, ballet, and boxing. And now we hear Dammit Alistair with Surfacing the Underground.
Individuals have felt the need to express themselves. Some choose voice, some choose paint or clay, and some just dance. Popular culture has always used contemporary dance as a vehicle for movies and television. On screen, this controlled movement has captivated viewers for many years. Many imitate what they see, but rarely can they duplicate it. Knowing this, my mission was to surface the underground of true artistic dance and to find where it all begins. My quest led me to the Peoria Ballet Academy, a professional dance studio tucked away quietly among the industrial district of Peoria. 7 days a week, students of all ages come to this studio in search of perfecting their craft. On this particular Wednesday, Julie Hayes Ricketts is instructing the pre-dance class, ages 5 to 6. I talked to her about why she enjoys this age group.
It makes me feel happy inside because they're always so happy and excited, and I have long days and they cheer me up.
Each dance class begins with a warm-up to prepare the students for an intense hour of training. Ricketts has the class sit in a circle and perform a series of stretches. After this, the children execute what is known as a monster. In this elaborate exercise, students take turns introducing a monster, which then requires a different stretch to hide from the beast. 5-year-old Nathaniel Wilson shed some light on his predator of choice. What's your favorite part about dance class?
Crocodiles.
Crocodiles. That's actually my favorite too. What kind of crocodiles?
They're green.
Do green crocodiles dance?
Yeah.
What kind of dancing do you do? Can you show me some of the things that crocodiles would dance?
They go like this.
They go like this? And that's how they swim through the marshlands. Directly after warding off these evil creatures, the class proceeds with some strenuous ballet exercises across the floor. Students are encouraged to pay attention to their posture and balance. Still, these aren't the only lessons being learned.
I really encourage them to have self-confidence so they have successful lives and they like themselves better.
It's apparent these lessons are working, as testament through many ambitious students.
I want to be a lot of things.
What else do you want to be?
Well, a veterinarian.
How about a ballerina veterinarian?
Okay.
So what would you do then? You would take care of animals while dancing?
I don't know.
Or you would take care of dancing animals? While this hopeful caregiver of dancing animals contemplates her future, I decided to throw on my leotard, leg warmers, lace up my dancing shoes, and give it a twirl. While my dancing may not be up to par, it's obvious these kids have a bright future ahead of them. For Surfacing the Underground, this has been Dan McCollister.
Those were some nice plies, Dan. I can do it too.
You are not Kate Winslet in Titanic, but that was good. I like to see Spring Fever. Dan McAllister in the tutu.
Yes.
Spring Fever got to him all crazy in the head. And those little boys were like kind of like their future football and boxing players because they're all graceful.
Exactly. Or they could be dancers.
They could want to be dancers like Chris Judd. He was a wonderful dancer, and how they're like, it's not the stereotype anymore. You're not, fruity because you can dance. Everyone should be able to dance, right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking. So that's a good thing about spring. In my ballet or jazzercise class, I'm going to learn boxing and jazz and ballet at the same time. You should come. Are you going to come?
Yes, I am.
Thank
I'm going to
you.
teach it, actually.
You're gonna
I'm an
teach
expert.
Doing something, I don't know. And now it's time to talk about Ashley and Elise about the news. So here's Ashley and Elise.
Thanks, Anna and Davida. Good afternoon and welcome to Midstate News. I'm Elise Escaronli.
And I'm Ashley Cassie. The Madison Theater may be coming back to Peoria very soon. Area leaders and the public will get a chance to share ideas on what should happen to the former theater. An architectural firm will hold several public meetings to gather input. Performing arts groups would like to see the building renovated. They hope the Madison will accommodate performances for crowds of 1,000 or less. The project is gathering support from area businesses and corporations. The architectural firm will make a report and present recommendations to the Central Illinois Landmarks Foundation in April.
Keystone Steel and Wire Union employees have returned to the poll booth for the second time. The Independent Steelworkers Alliance rejected the company's latest concession package. The deal proposed keeping the wages the same, but changing health care coverage for employees and retirees. Union members claim the package would only increase financial burdens on families. Officials with Keystone said approval of this latest package was necessary from keep the filing from bankruptcy. This is the second concession package union members have voted down in just the last month. The Pekin Grade School District 108 will be forced to cut their staff because of a $1.7 million budget cut. School administrators in Tazewell County blame tax caps for limiting how much local property tax dollars the schools receive. Statewide, more than 80% of Illinois school districts have budget cuts according to the Illinois State Board of Education.
State health officials say the number of Illinois AIDS cases in 2003 is at its lowest since 6 years ago. This year's total is nearly half as much as last year's total of 2,241. Public Health Director Eric Whitaker says the disease is very preventable, but people continue to make risky choices.
The Vagina Monologues are coming to Bradley's campus. We had a chance to speak with the show's director, Nicole Vitale, about the main goal of the popular production.
Okay, well, hopefully the Vagina Monologues helps people look at women as we're not just these dainty little girls that are going to sit around and take what's given to us. We want more, and we want the violence against us to stop. Hopefully if abusers come to the show, it makes them think twice about abusing again. Hopefully if a rapist would see the show, it'd make them think twice about doing it again, or hopefully it would stop them and make them get help. And hopefully it will have women will want to come forth and share their stories with other women about their stories of abuse and how they've overcome it. I think it's done a lot for society. I think it's helped us become a lot more comfortable with the word vagina. And I think that it has brought awareness to domestic violence a lot more, and women's violence issues going on all over the world that we probably wouldn't have known about, that we would know about, but at least something's being done to stop it.
The show will open on March 10th and conclude on the 12th. There's no ticket pre-sale, so if you want to make it in to see the show, Nicole suggests that you wait in line about an hour before. Singular Wireless is buying rival AT&T Wireless, the third largest mobile cell phone carrier. Singular purchased AT&T in the bidding process after British phone company Vodafone withdrew. Once the buyout is complete, competition will begin with Verizon, the #1 mobile phone company.
Area students are skipping class, and for a good reason. A marketing class at Richwoods High School bowled all morning to raise money for St. Jude. The fundraiser, named Pennies for Patients, was bittersweet. Richwood students Nicholas Rudolph died before the fundraiser after a long battle with leukemia. In just a matter of days, the class organized the benefit in his honor. Organizers say the class raised about $800 this morning. All of the proceeds will go to St. Jude.
A complaint of a possible electioneering at a training session for city election judges was received by the Peoria County State's Attorney's Office. One city election judge passed out flyers against a referendum that wants to dissolve the city's Peoria's election commission by incorporating their operations into the Peoria County Clerk's office in order to save taxpayers' money. Critics fear that putting the elections in the hands of a county clerk could hurt the appearance of impartiality.
This week's Oddly Enough story took place right here in central Illinois. 17-year-old Heather Hagmeyer got busted for attempting to buy a 12-pack at the Chillicothe Kroger of toilet paper. A clerk was suspicious with the amount she was buying due to recent toilet paper pranks, even though Hagmeyer insisted her mother wanted her to buy it. A 24-year-old conspirer tried to purchase it for her after she was repeatedly denied, but the clerk was onto the scheme and promptly called the police. The outcome? The police showed up unimpressed, and the manager told the clerk not to call the police again. Now let's check in with Elise on the interview set with our special guest. Elise?
Hello everybody. Today our guest speaker is Bill Heydrich, the guest curator for the Marcia S. Glazer collection at the Peoria Art Guild. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Heydrich.
Thank you for asking me to be here.
No problem. So basically, this collection is at the Peoria Art Guild right now. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about the collection?
Sure. And most importantly, it will be here till March 20th. It is a collection, it is a private collection. It's not a museum collection or anything like that. And it was formed over the last, 10 or 15 years. And it was formed very carefully, and that's an important point because all of the works in the show really are masterpieces that virtually any museum in the United States would love to have. And we are very, very lucky to have an opportunity to view these things here in Peoria.
Now, what do you have to do to bring those masterpieces to the Peoria area? It's probably not easy.
Good question. No, it's not easy at all. A great deal of preparation goes into organizing an exhibition like this. I think conversations began about 3 years ago. I got involved 2 years ago. And then a great deal of work goes into making the crates, creating the means for transporting all these works of art. When you see the shows, I hope everybody viewing this does, you will recognize immediately that there are some very large works as well as some very heavy works that require a tremendous amount of attention to make sure that they get here just fine.
Now, what type of audiences do you guys target with the collection? Is it more for anybody that wants to come and check it out, or do you guys have in mind a particular audience that you want to attract to the collection?
This is an instance where these are masterpieces of 20th century art. Mm-hmm. They speak to the great achievements of the greatest artists of the 20th century. Any age group could appreciate this, and quite frankly, oftentimes it's younger kids that really respond quite well to these things.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for being with us today.
You're welcome.
If you guys want information about the Peoria Art Guilds, please check their information out at info@peoriaartguild.org. Right now, we're going to hit it to Adam Sokolowski, the man with all the sports action. Adam?
Temperatures are melting ice on the Illinois River and melting snow on the ground, making way for the outdoor sports in the Peoria area. As waters warm up, the 3 major fishing tournaments will be held along the Illinois River. The first is the Illinois Governor's Cup Walleye Tournament. That will be followed by the Grand National Walleye Cup and Cabela's Master Tournament. On dry land, many of the area nature centers are taking advantage of the more mild weather by planning hikes and lectures early spring wildlife. As the Bradley men's basketball team gets ready to travel to St. Louis for March Madness, it looks as though their luck has finally changed. The Braves won three straight games last week, trying their longest streak of the season and putting their record 1 win behind 500. The wins are coming at the right time for Bradley. The team has been trying to avoid play-in game for the conference tournament. Head coach Jim Less attributes his recent success to the team's growing confidence and thinks the Braves can carry this one into the tournament. The tournament game will be held on March 8th in St. Louis and will be televised nationally on ESPN. The Rivermen, on the other hand, haven't been so hot near the playoff time. Last week, hockey team dropped 4 games in a row and dropped into 4th place in the league standings. The losing streak was capped off by a pair of losses to the first-place Wheeling Nailers. The Nailers skated through the Rivs' defense for easy chances on the net and left the Carver Arena still atop the East Coast Hockey League. A few more losses could bring the Rivermen dangerously close from making the league playoffs. Urlacher's playing in Peoria? Casey, the younger brother of the Bears standout, signed with the Peoria Pirates last week. The Pirates have been trying to recruit Urlacher for the past 2 years and finally came up big. Urlacher was a standout at Lake Forest on both defensive and offensive sides of the field. He earned Defensive Player of the Year, honors at linebacker, and rushed for 8 touchdowns as a fullback. The Pirates expect Urlacher to fill both roles on their team as well. And that's all for sports. Back to you, Elise and Ashley.
Thank you so much, Adam.
That's it for this week's Midstate News.
Back to you, Anna and Davida.
Thank you, Ashley and Elise.
You know, is it just me or is spring somehow lost in translation? I never can seem to tell the changes or what's going on, or is it spring, fall, winter?
No, it's not just you, because I'll be, preparing to go to class and I don't know what to wear, like should I wear my coat or not? And then I look outside to see what the other people are wearing, and then I see some guy, walking by with a t-shirt on. I'm like, oh, it's warm out, yay. And then someone walks by and they're wearing like a winter coat and a hat and a scarf and stuff, and I'm like, oh.
kind of cold outside. Which one
Yeah.
is it? Then you have in between, like the capris. They're not pants, but they're not shorts.
Yeah.
And then people have on sandals, and you really don't know. You have to watch the Weather Channel because you want to wake up and just be like, you know, what? You can't really tell.
No, you can't
Have
tell.
you read like the Da Vinci Code or any other books like that?
I've heard of it though.
Where they say that, like, you know, when you can't tell the seasons, like the end times or something. Are you scared? I'm scared.
But it's always like that in Illinois.
I know. So maybe Josh and Jonna can clear up a DVD argument and look at the movie Lost in Translation while we ponder being lost in translation about spring. Here you go.
Hello, and welcome to DVD Argument. I'm Jonna Bond.
And I'm Josh Fletcher, who's never without my buddy Dallas, who's apparently taking a nap.
This week, we reviewed the movie Lost in Translation, starring Bill Murray. This film has recently won many awards and nominations,
including Best Actor Golden Globe for Bill Murray. You know what? Why don't we take a look at this film?
That's a good idea.
All right.
Lost in Translation is directed and written by Sofia Coppola, daughter of Francis Ford Coppola, who executive produced this film. Sophia tells us about Bob Harris, an American celebrity played by Bill Murray, who is doing many appearances and endorsements across the ocean in Japan.
A language barrier creates the difficulty Bob has communicating with the people in a culture so different from his own.
書斎にゆっくりと座っています。そしてテーブルの上にはサントリーウイスキーがあります。わかりますね？感情を込めてゆっくりとカメラを見て優しく、そしてあなたの古い友達に会うように言ってください。カサブランカのボギーのように君の瞳に乾杯。サントリータイム。
He wants you to tell, look in camera. Okay?
That's all he said?
Yes.
When Bob is at his lowest point, he meets Charlotte, played by Scarlett Johansson. As someone who is much younger than him, she's able to fill a very large void. She gives him more life and makes his surroundings seem much less foreign.
I don't want to leave.
So don't. Stay here with me. We'll start a jazz band.
In my opinion, Lost in Translation, though critically acclaimed, was not everything that it could have been. For this movie, as a lead actor, Bill Murray was poorly cast. Bill Murray's character in Lost in Translation made me long for the tongue-in-cheek, slapstick humor of his classic movies such as Stripes and Ghostbusters. On top of poor casting of the male lead, this movie also lacked pace. Lost in Translation moves slowly through line after line of sappy dialogue. This movie took forever to make a point that was buried under poor writing. What was said could have been said in a far more concise and less coded fashion. The one redeeming factor of Lost in Translation was the cinematography. For what it was a very well-shot film. The colors appeared very vibrant, and many of the camera angles added some stylistic flair to this picture.
As far as what I thought about the movie, I felt it moved too slow for my taste. I went into it with high hopes, a little too high. The movie was on screen, but it did not draw my attention.
What are you doing here?
On the positive side, I do see why Bill Murray's getting many nods, including an Oscar nomination for his performance. I think he's fabulous in everything that he does. But I could not get emotionally involved with the characters. I wonder, if I were to watch it one more time, might I feel differently about it? We'll never know, because I don't feel it's worth renting again.
The best way to know if all the buzz about this movie is true would be seeing it for yourselves.
It was a pleasure sharing our thoughts with you. Once again, I'm Jonna Bond.
And we are Josh and Dallas. Back to you, Anna and Davida.
You know, I haven't seen that movie yet, but I really do want to.
It looks, you know, has some funny scenes in it. It won a Golden Globe.
Yes, I know.
So that's really exciting.
It's got to be good. I don't know what they're talking about.
I know. I still want to go see it. You know, it's up to me if I want to go see it. But that's going to be it for this edition of Midstate Magazine. In a little bit, we're going to wrap it up in a little bit.
Yeah.
But not right now. Not right
No,
now,
not
because
right
we're
now.
lost in translation. Because spring, what do you have in spring?
Like Love in the Air and La Bamba's going there.
And Spring Fever.
And Spring Fever.
Which makes you all wacky.
Yeah, because you're sick of the cabin fever.
And
from
then, you know,
winter.
talking about the cheater season, you know how I compare like burritos and tacos? You know how when you're with your man and, you know, you see a guy with a ripped chest, that could be your burrito. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you could see someone with like nice hair and he could be your taco. And you fill up and you gain those pounds.
And nobody wants you.
After you gain those pounds because you cheated so much. And you've given yourself out to too many people.
Mm-hmm.
That is the principle for today.
Then you just need a nap.
Really? What else do you think about that?
I don't know. I'm not
Well,
crazy like
today we're going to wrap up our edition of Midstate Magazine. We talked about spring and how love is not in the air. It's at La Bamba's. Madonna is touring again. Yes. And I informed you about my layer-size jazz class where I'm going to box. So we're going to wrap it up, and we'll see you next week. So bye. Bye.